Hello everyone and welcome to part 13 of the Skyline project. During this video we'll be solving, the steering issue that we were having with the turbo setups, as well as, some pre-assembly.
Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well, and thank you for tuning into Moose Motion. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the content, comment below what you think, share with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if you're new, and be sure you have your post notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new content. Anyway, thank you for your support, it's highly appreciated.
We'll first start off this video by, starting off where we left last time, by, finishing up this little ducktail and attaching it to the actual Skyline. Then we're going to move on to, the actual steering problem, which happens to be the turbo plumbing, unfortunately, which has to be redone. This will be, the third time I believe I've had to redo it, and luckily for movie magic, it will be, skipped around quite a lot for you guys, so that way you're not watching something that's been done already a bunch of times. So there are a few things that I did do to kind of help that, because unfortunately it wasn't just the plumbing that was the issue, it was also the wheels were a little too big, and that's where this little tool comes in handy, the belt sander. So this is why, I kind of like this thing, because it saves a lot of time on sanding, because for one, I wasn't happy with the roof line either, so we're going to take that and narrow it down just a little bit, and with the help of some movie magic, you also will get to skip about a day's worth of work, unfortunately, so that's why I'm a little behind schedule. This thing is nearly finished though at this point, luckily, so then we'll be moving on to the Mustang project. And if you're curious as to what the Mustang's going to look like, check out the links in the post description below. There you'll see, links to not only the Skyline project, but as well as the concept drawing for the Mustang, as well as a few of my actual cartoon animations. Anyways, continuing on with the Skyline build here, the next thing we're going to do is narrow down these tires, essentially cut off the back half quite a bit, narrowing them down, unfortunately, a little bit. But unfortunately, it's kind of a necessary evil due to the fact that, I kind of want to be able to have a really big, turning radius on this car because, drift car. So, therefore, we're going to narrow things down for the sake of, animation future shots, because this thing will look pretty cool from a front end view with the tire basically nearly sticking out almost 90 degrees is kind of the goal in the future. And then essentially what we're going to do to kind of help even out the space after narrowing them down is, use wire insulation. Just take that off some 10 gauge wire, strip that, and slide it onto the actual spinning rod that, turns the actual wheel as well as spins the front wheel. So therefore, it basically sits out a little bit further and isn't going to slide into, your mechanical components that we're basically trying to avoid and are causing the problems in the first place. And then once those are in place, we're going to, skip along to basically getting the actual turbo plumbing redone for the third time. Luckily for you, the viewers, it goes by pretty quickly. Unfortunately for me, the craftsman, it does not. It took a while, but nowhere near as long as, the previous 2 times that I've done it, because, I've done it a few times at this point. I now know what the issue is, and considering we have pretty much all the parts in place at this point, it's a little easier to work with than, the guessing game that I was playing before, essentially. Then once all the steering components, or, steering problems, I should say, are essentially solved, then we can move on to, the pre-assembly, which is basically putting all the tiny little parts I've built from previous videos onto the car, and, making this RB26 a permanent part of the actual Skyline shell, and, putting this thing together, and not too long from now, it should be in the background there with those little cars, and, I would definitely enjoy doing some donuts with it, so once I'm done this thing, there'll probably be a sneak little animation for the last video if I do have some extra time. It doesn't take too long to do some animations with the cars in comparison to some of the other projects I've done, and I haven't done an animation in a while, and I plan on doing one soon. But unfortunately, I'm a pretty busy guy, and, this Skyline has proved to be a bit of a challenge more than normal, mainly because of all the turbo plumbing and stuff like that, plus the, rather large steering in comparison to some of my other cars in the past. But it's all a learning curve, and now that it's over with, there's a few things I'm definitely going to be doing different on the next car, therefore making things a little easier on myself and making hopefully the process a little bit faster. And as always, if you enjoyed the content as well as the hard work that I put into all this little, clay world, or car clay world, I'm not sure what exactly to call it yet at this point, It's still obviously in the making, pun intended, But if you enjoy the content, be sure to smash that like button, comment below what you think of the project, perhaps leave a suggestion for either this car or the Mustang, or depending on which video you skipped on, leave a comment on the, well, Mustang drawing. That would also help that one because, well, generally I kind of base things off views, and, well, in this case, the Skyline won in comparison to the Mustang, so that's why I built the Skyline first. And perhaps consider subscribing if you're new and have your, well, bell notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And for all you, well, regular viewers, this time I did not forget to put Milton the Moose in. I'm pretty sure I did forget to put him in my last video. And for you new people, well, there's a little challenge with my videos. Essentially, just look for the little mascot or moose that will just kind of pop up on, well, screen at some point in the background. And if you timestamp correctly exactly when he shows up, you will get a shout out and, well, your comment pinned at the top of the comment section. Good luck to you viewers, and, well, here's a hint. If you've made it this far, he's already come and gone. So you might want to just rewind a little bit and he should be there. So good luck. Anyway, enjoy the video. I will talk to you towards the end and give you a quick build rundown what we're going to be doing next time on the Clay Skyline, which, well, probably might be the last episode or the second last episode. We'll see how things go this week. Anyway, take care, dear viewer. Now here we are at the end of the video as well as the build rundown, so thank you for sticking around to the very end. That definitely means a lot to me and helps out with the algorithm, definitely adds to the watch time minutes as well. Anyway, to the biggest hurdle that we obviously got over during this video was, well, the steering problem for one, where the tires are no longer touching when basically they're completely turned either way. The turbos are no longer going to be a problem. Thank God, because that has been kind of a pain in the butt. I've had to redo that several times, as well as, well, the roof line and a couple of other little things here and there. But at this point, the actual frame is definitely all massaged out, and, well, we're no longer going to be working on that aspect of the car anymore. We're obviously putting things together, and I'm happy to say this will be the last time we actually put that RB26 in this little thing. So, during the next video, we're going to be actually adding on some plaster scenes, so this may or not be, well, coming to an end on this series, actually. And, well, I'm definitely looking forward to playing around with this little JDM car. It should be fun to do some definitely killer drift scenes with it and the AE86 kicking around in the background. There's obviously still a fair amount of little parts that we still have to put on, but a lot of those parts basically have to be kind of, well, put on once the plaster scene layer is done, just to kind of help keep things to scale. Anyway, you made it this far in the video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, comment below what you think, share with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if you're new. Anyway, that's all from me. Till next time, take it easy.